Okay, so I just want to recap what we've just been talking about. If you look here, I've actually written down the numbers of the root names. So this will be chord 1, that will be chord 2, chord 3, chord 4, chord 5, chord 6, chord 7. If you notice, I've put it all in upper capital, upper letters. In classical music, that chord would be 1, but the second chord, a minor, usually written like that. And 3 would be written like that, a minor chord. And when you get to major chord again, you go capitals. So 5 would be capital, 6 would be minor, 7th, small capitals. But I just want to say that in jazz, we write everything uppercase. Okay, I don't know why, but we do. But in this course, I might actually write things in lowercase, just to make it a bit clearer for you, because I think the classical way of doing it can be a bit more clearer, but I'm just telling you that that's the way in jazz you write everything uppercase for some reason. Don't ask me why. Just Americans, they want it like to be different, don't they? Okay, so if you look at those chords that I've written there, based in the key of C major, obviously I haven't put a key signature in. So if I haven't put a key signature in, it's obviously we're in C, and I actually mean we're in C. You know, I'm not like a lot of these Americans that don't put key signatures in. So you can assume that it is in key. I just want to restate this, which I've said a lot of times. I'm going to keep saying it. Always put a key signature in to tell you where you are, because it gets incredibly confusing if you don't. Now that chord C can appear in 2 other keys. Can you see? It can appear as the subdominant in G and the dominant in the key of F. Okay? So if we look at the recital of fifths and look at these and look at, you see that okay? And look at this. So if you go clockwise round, that C trad can appear as subdominant in G and dominant in F. So clockwise round the recital of fifths, right, it becomes subdominant, and anti-clockwise it becomes dominant. So if you took like the key of A, say you were in the key of A, the trad on A, right, the major trad on the key, on the root note of A, the tonic, would also appear as a subdominant in E. So if you go E, F, G, A, the fourth, it's a subdominant, isn't it? So that's subdom of A, right? And that way it would appear as the dominant. So if you took D, D, E, F, G, A, it's the dominant, isn't it, the fifth. So always remember that if you take the recital of fifths, you can find that chord in the next key going up, and it's the subdominant. But if you go the other way, it's the dominant. So try and remember that. Okay. Now if that's the case for major trads, what about minor trads? We've got 1, 2, we've got 3 minor trads, and then we've also got a diminished trad. Now there's only one diminished trad, right? So that diminished trad can only appear in that key. So if you're in the key of G, let's have a look at key of G, you're going to get E diminished, aren't you? You know what I mean? That can't basically, that trad can't appear in any key because there's only one in that. But these can appear in different keys, can't they? So we'll just have a look at that, what keys the minor chords appear in. Okay, so I'm looking at minor chords now. You can see there's 3 minor chords in the key of C major, which means that each one of those minor chords must appear logically in 3 different keys, and that's exactly what happens. So we'll just look at chord number 2, and I'll just show you. So in C major, chord 2, which is D minor, appears in C major, obviously, as the 2 chord. But in B flat, it appears as the 3 chord, so you've got E minor there. And then in key of F major, you've got it appearing as a 6 chord. So each one of those chords can be a 2, 3, or 6, right? So let's have a look on the recital of fifths, see if we can see any pattern running to this. So let's have a look at this second chord here, which would be D. That would appear here, if we go back one, in the key of F as 6 chord, which we've seen. And if we go back one more, it appears as 3 in B flat. So D, which is C, D, second in that, is the 6 of F, F, G, A, B, C, D, yep. and the third of B flat, C, D. Yeah, so we've got a pattern, haven't we? So chord 2 is in the first key you're looking at. You go back 1, the recital of fifth anti-clockwise, it becomes 6, and if you go back again, it becomes 3. So let's try that on the other chords in C major and see if they work out as well. Just take that off so you can see better. So if we look at the key, let's have a look at that one. A minor. So A minor is chord 2 of G, isn't it? So it's chord 2 there. So if we go back 1, the theory is it should be chord 6, right, in C major. G, A, B, C, D, E, C, D, E, F, G, A. Yes, it is. And it should be the third of F major. F, G, A. Yeah, it is A minor. So whatever we do on here, we should be able to figure out where that minor key, where a minor chord, a minor trad chord that is, should appear in another key. So I'll just give you one now. So let's look at B. Right, the second chord of B, right, which would be C sharp minor, that would be number 2. Right, where would that appear, that chord, C sharp minor, and what would it be in those chords? So have a think about it, and for a second. Well, it's anti-clockwise, isn't it, round the recital of fifth? So that C sharp minor there is going to appear as chord 6 there. E, F, G, A, B, C sharp. Yeah, it is. But it's also going to appear as chord 3 in A, isn't it? A, B, C sharp. Yes, it does. So the 3 works, doesn't it? So I hope you remember that, because you've probably tested. The thing is, when I put these tests on, right, you've got to be answering these questions really fast. And if you see things simple like this, recital of fifths and stuff, you can get it really quick. You shouldn't be taking any more than 3 seconds to answer any questions that I do give you in future, all right? Any more than 3 seconds, you're slow. You've got to start working on stuff. So, right, I just want to pause camera a sec, because I just want to show you something else now to get actually what we're talking about harmonies. See, I'm running that many course, I can't remember what I'm actually doing here. Yeah, so I just want to show you something there. Okay, so I just want to show you how to do chords. You need to be practicing chords. Make sure you know them really well, all the notes. The best thing to do is, if you play a chord instrument, then you can just practice them, so you probably know. If you know your chords, you can skip this. If you don't know them, this is a good little exercise to get your chords up. What you do is, you can do this anywhere. You can do it in waiting at doctors or on a bus, in a taxi, anywhere. You draw a box, you put a smaller box at that side, and then you do another box there. Okay, extend that along, and then same again, you divide them 2, and then you divide those 2. And then you put your numbers of your scale degrees in there, which in this case we're talking a major 6, so it's 1, 3, 5, 6. And then you take your root, so I'm saying C, but in the second box you put it as a third box as a fifth, and next box as a 6. And then you fill them in. Well, so a C major, remember this is major 6 chords. So a major 6 chord is a major third above the root, first of all, and then E to G is a minor third, and then the 6, which is a tone above that, which is be A. So that's a C6 chord. So this we've got a bit tricky now, because it's the number 3. It's on the third, on the median, the C. So if we write in the third below, so that's A, and then E above that, and then F. So how are we doing there? Well, that don't make sense, does it? We've got to keep this C note as it is, because that's the root, the note that we keep in same. So a major third below that is obviously A flat. So we're in the key of A flat, which means that that's got to be E flat, hasn't it? So that's an A flat major 6. So what about this one here? Well, perfect fourth below that C would be F, which would make a perfect fifth there, wouldn't it? You know what I mean? So that would be F, A, C, D. That one, pretty easy, that one. What about this one here? Well, C is the 6th note of E, some kind of an E, isn't it? Because if you go from 6 to root, which would be C, D, E, it's obviously some kind of an E. So you've got E, G, B. But E, the 6th note of E is C sharp, so that's got to be flattened. So if we're in E flat, that's obviously B flat, isn't it? So E flat, G, B flat, C. So there you go. There are all your six notes. The 6 chords with the C as the root, the third, the fifth, and the 6th. So let's have a go at doing another one. Okay, so this is major 6 chords. So I've just given another example. It's up to you to do all the rest then. I don't want to go on and on with this. But I'll put F sharp in, make it a little bit more harder. So F sharp, so let's see, F, A, C, E, C, D, sorry, D. We're in F sharp, so that's A sharp and C sharp and D sharp. So that would be F sharp major 6 trad. So what about F sharp? Well, you can see that D is a major third below, so D, F, A, and this would be B. Okay, so about F sharp. F sharp is the 5th of B. I just know that anyway. So what about this one? F sharp is the 6th note of A, because if we just go up to F sharp, G, A, we're in A, aren't we? So we're in some kind of an A, and F sharp is an A, so that's okay. So F, C, E, and that's the C sharp. So there you go. So that would be with F sharp as the root, the third, the fifth, or the 6th. So I want you to go through, get a sheet of paper, pad, and just do these when you've got nothing else to do. Just go through and make sure you know all your 6 chords. And then keep this in mind. I'll show you what you do when you do 7th chords and stuff, and you can use it also for extensions and things as well. This is your basic introduction to, I don't know what they call these, chord boxes, I think we'll call them. But do it like that with root, third, fifth, and 6th, okay, in each box like that, and go through it, because it makes your brain think about, oh, what's that? What's the third of that? What's the, you know what I mean? If you just if you're writing everything from the root position all the time, you're just getting into that way of thinking. So this will get you thinking in a different way. Okay, so I just want to show you minor 6 before I finish this video. So again, we draw as box again, like so. Put a thin line there, and then we draw a box there. So I missed that. Box there, box there, down, down. So you've got 1, 3, 5, 6. This is minor. 6 chords, and on this you just do another little box at the side of that third and just put lowered, okay? So we're going to do, I'll just show you with C and then you can do all the rest. So obviously C, 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 C. What's this first chord? Well, it's C, E, G, A, same. Here we've got A, C, E, F sharp. Here we've got F, A flat because it's lowered, and D. And here we've got E flat, G flat, B flat, C. Okay, so that would be minor 6 chords. So I want you to go through them and just keep going until you get really good with it, and you know your 6 chords quite good. It's a good exercise because you can do it anywhere. You can do it, you know, just like say if you're just waiting in a doctor's or you're in a taxi or on a bus or, you know, anywhere. You've got a bit of spare time, just write chord boxes out and do your minor 6 and your major 6s. We'll do seventh chords later on, but I just want you to get into your 6 chords first. Okay, so I'll see you in the next lesson. So this has been useful to you. Bye.